Hi people, Wangari here. Coming here to give you tips and tricks if you're about to go into Accutane, which is also known as Isotretnoin. And especially if you're a woman, I just want you to take precaution. I'm not saying don't take that drug, but you need to know the side effects that this drug has. Something I wish I knew before I started it. I did it in 2017 for about 3.5 months, and for 8 months after that my face was clear, and the side effects that came with it are something that I never want to wish on anyone, especially if you don't expect it, especially when you don't know what to expect. For me, I really didn't know the side effects were that severe. I did read on the pamphlet, but my doctor didn't tell me the side effects would be this severe. He only told me not to get pregnant. He told me if I'm sexually active to double up on my birth control, as in have my boyfriend or husband have protection as well as me. That's the only thing he emphasized on, which I'm thankful for, because there are some dermatologists, especially here in Kenya, that have found that just give you the drug. It's a prescribed medication, number one, but there are dermatologists who don't even do blood work. At least my dermatologist did some blood work on me to make sure that I was healthy enough, that my system was healthy enough, that my liver and my kidneys were healthy enough to take this drug, because it's a very, very, very strong drug, and it has a very strong toll on your body, and your immunity needs to be up to date. I remember last year I went to see a dermatologist, and she just straight away wanted to recommend Isotretnoin. I was like, you didn't even do my blood work. You don't even know what my history is with this drug. And she didn't even explain it to me. So if I didn't have prior knowledge, I'd have taken that drug. I'd have had those side effects. I'd have had my acne come back. I want to go through like 8 things that you should know before you start on Accutane or Isotretnoin. Number one, I have some few notes that I've written, but number one, the side effects. It has very, very, very severe side effects. I've never had a drug that has had such bad side effects on me, on my body. My back was, oh my god, my back especially, and my knees. I would go down the stairs and I would feel my knees creaking like an old lady. Like they'd make some sound like, and the pain on my joints. Just know that when you're on Accutane, your joints, your eyes, your back, your mouth, your lips, your everything that has liquid in it basically dries up, because this medication is meant to dry out all. I think it's meant, not even I think, it's meant to dry out everything, including your face, so that your acne, the sebum produced doesn't, your face doesn't produce sebum basically, but it also affects the rest of your body. So be aware of those side effects, and some are long term. I've had people who still complain of IBM, which is irritable bowel movement, where it's a bit TMI, but it just affects your whole, when you're going, it's not cute. But luckily I didn't experience that. I experienced another thing is your period. If you're a lady, more than likely your period will be late by at least a month. Mine was late by a month. I was so worried. I went back to my doctor and he told me, Gladys, that's just you. And I was like, what? Because I knew two ladies in my office, who did it, but they only did it for 1 month each, and they both told me they never had any side effects. So when the doctor reiterated and said it's just me, I was like, why is it just me? And I actually had to join a support group on Facebook to know that it wasn't just me. A lot of women go through this. Even to date, I'm still part of those groups. If you want, you can join them. They are called, one is called Positive something while on Isotretnoin. Just look for those groups on Facebook and there'll be a lot of help, especially if you feel like whatever you're feeling is normal and your dermatologist is not confirming what you're feeling. Like for me, my period being late, that wasn't normal, although it came back after a month and it was normal after that. But that delay, you have to know it'll come. And another thing is that you have to take the drug for at least I think 6 months. You might take it in small doses and take it for longer. Some people take small doses like around 10 mgs, 10 milligrams for up to 2 years. Some people prefer doing, if your body can handle it. For me, I think my doctor felt that my body could handle it, because I would do 40 milligrams for, I did 40 milligrams. I used to do 20 in the morning and 20 in the evening, and I did it for 3 months. I was 3.5 months. I was supposed to ease out of it, but I was just done. I was just done by the third and a half. I was just done. I was like, I'm not doing this again. And I feel like it's too long to take drugs. I didn't know that initially. If you see my previous videos, I was counting down days, like 40 days. I didn't know I 40 pills, I mean. I didn't know I had to take it for that long a period. And for something with such severe side effects, I'd rather not. And then the biggest issue is that there is a possibility of your acne recurring. For me, I'm unfortunate because my acne did come back. And I feel like for what I went through, it wasn't worth it then, because why did I go through all that? I thought it was the end all be all of acne medication. Some people say you have to take it like 2 or 3 more times, but I'm like, why? It takes such a toll on your body. I'm like, why should you go through that 2 or 3 more times? Because of pimples? I don't think so. For me, it's totally not worth it. I would never do it again. I would never do another course of Accutane ever, especially knowing that there's a possibility of it coming back. My acne was only gone for about 8 months. I was only clear for 8 months, and I just feel like that's not worth it to me. Another reason is, especially if you're a lady, we all know this, we are told this, you should not get pregnant. If you want to get pregnant, please don't get into this drug. Even though they say it gets out of your system after a month, but don't take it. Don't take it if you're planning on getting pregnant within a year. I don't think it's worth it, because at the end of the day, I just feel like if you're done having kids, if you don't want to have kids, if you're not intending on having kids, then that's fine. But if you want to have kids, let's say within a year, don't do it. Just wait until you're done having kids and then do it, or just don't do it at all. Look for other things that can work in the market, because I believe there are a lot of things right now. I'm exploring a lot of things that don't have to do with medication. For the last like 3 4 months, I've not done any kind of medication, and as you can see, my skin is not as bad. I do get breakouts, especially around that time of the month, but I feel like even if I'm on Accutane or any drugs at all, I still get breakouts at that time of the month. So if you're a lady and you're intending to get pregnant, please don't do it, because even though they say it gets out of your system fast, like within a month, I just don't feel like it's worth it. And then for especially dark skinned girls, it makes your skin super super sensitive to the sun, and even if you use sunscreen, you will still get very 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 severe hyperpigmentation. I remember when I was on it, and I work in an office setting, sorry, and in the office I don't get any exposure, but I used to look 3 or 4 or 5 times darker than my skin tone. I'm a dark skin girl, but my skin tone was so dark, and the hyperpigmentation up to today, that's one of the things that I'm still trying to get rid of with everything that I'm doing, because that hyperpigmentation got into my skin so deep that I used to be so depressed. I used to look at myself. Can you imagine having hyperpigmentation and having acne? It's just not a good look, because I had the breakout. That's my other point. The surge, there's a surge within the second or third month, it depends with you, but you will definitely get an acne surge somewhere along the way. A very few percentage of people don't get it, but believe me, you will get a surge and your face will break out severely, because for me, that was the worst my face had ever looked. And I was so depressed. I used to look at my face and just cry because I didn't even want to be outside. I didn't want to be seen with anyone. I didn't want to go anywhere. I remember those 3 months were the lowest times for me. I didn't even want to be around my own family because people would just ask me, I thought you were on acne medication. It seems to be doing worse than good. And I never knew that there would be a surge until, please, 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 if you're confused, just join these help groups on Facebook. They really, really, really help because you're able to find other people who are going through similar things and they're able to encourage you. I'm so thankful for the people on those support groups because they encouraged me. They told me they also went through that surge, and it's normal. It's a normal process, but it's really, really depressing for anyone, male or female. And it's not about being superficial, it's just about seeing all these changes. And the drug itself has that um, as a side effect, depression. So if you feel like you're not mentally strong, please don't do it because it gives you depression. And on top of the depression the drug gives you, and if your mental health is not that good, looking at yourself each morning, seeing those bumps, seeing the hyperpigmentation, feeling the pain, because those pimples are actually really painful, it will just get you down even more. So that's something else to note down, especially if you're struggling with mental health. Don't get into it. And for me, I was recommended an asteroid. It's called prednisone, and I wish I never took it also because it's too strong. It was too strong as steroid. I took it for a week and it did bring down the bumps, but I feel like it really gave me some side effects that I'm yet to confirm, but I feel like it gave me some side effects that till today I'm still going through them. And the price point, this drug is expensive in Kenya. I remember I used to, luckily I had insurance from my work. I remember I used to buy a pack of around 18-20 drugs, and it was around, if I'm not wrong, it was around 17,000-18,000 at that time. Uh, that's around $180, $170, and that's not a cheap drug, especially if you're paying from the pocket. So that's something you need to note. If your insurance doesn't cover it, you have to be ready to pay up a pretty penny. And like I told you, the duration is long, so you see how long you have to pay. And I don't think it matters with the mgs. I think the price is the same. It's just that you'll be getting less milligrams per take. And then the last point is that I feel like it has, like I've said, it has long-term effects on your body, your internal organs, your liver, your kidneys. Some people complain of, like I've said, of IBM. There's just some persistent things that you'll notice afterwards. And I'm so thankful that I didn't get permanent side effects. I'm so thankful for that. But I just feel like for this drug, you have to know what you're getting into. Please read up on it before you do it. Do your research, go online, join those support groups I've mentioned there on Facebook especially. They're so helpful to let you know what you're getting into. Some people don't mind them because even on those groups I've seen people who still know what the drug does, but they're like, they do it like 2-3 times. So it just depends on you. For me, I'll just say this: if you want to get rid of acne, just look for other alternatives before settling for Accutane. For me, I'm thankful I had that experience, but it's not something I would ever do again. Even if I'm done having babies, I don't think I would ever do Accutane again. It is a very severe drug, and I feel it's acne. I don't think you need such a strong drug for acne, because even if you read up on it, it was a drug for cancer patients. It's a drug for cancer patients for chemotherapy. I'm like, what? For acne, you're taking drugs that cancer patients take? No, sis, no, bruh. I don't think it's worth it. I hope these pointers were helpful for someone out there, someone who wants to do Accutane, someone who's thinking about doing it. Just know what you're getting yourself into. If you want to do it, go ahead. And if you feel like whatever I've told you is helpful, please give me a thumbs up. And if you've not even it's not even about the likes or anything, it's just about, if you feel whatever I've said is helpful to you, just take it in and just be careful, be cautious with Accutane. I love you all. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.